Welcome to our Monday meditations, a combination of musings and reflections and thoughts, as well as cultivating a space for silence and introspection. I'm taking some inspiration today from Ganga White's work, Yoga Beyond Belief. As we settle in, we use Patanjali's 8-limbed path to guide us into this intimacy of pause so that we can be available for inspiration, however she may show up. And inspiration is really just a more modern term for prana, taking away perhaps some of the cultural connotations associated with religion, spirituality, or burden. So whatever word you prefer, our meditation itself is a practice of opening to compassion and truth. Ganga writes, your entire life is your meditation. By integrating qualities of attention, awareness, caring, and insight into all arenas of living, we reach the deeper core and more essential meaning of meditation. Many define the goal of meditation as a silent, even empty mind. But there are numerous other petals to the flowering of the mind and of life, beyond the singular ability to have a calm or silent mind. So I invite you to consider perhaps even closing your eyes and turning inward as I recite just a few perspectives on what kind of mind meditation can help us to cultivate. And as I open up this more introspective space, don't worry about whether or not you hear every word I say, but instead dive into the listening of your own inner wisdom, this union of the body, the breath, and the mind, the three components of the mind being the intellect, the emotion, and the intuitive belly. Feel this breath. Feel into your stable, grounded seat. A vibrant mind. An active mind. A sharp, quick mind. A clear mind. A penetrating mind. A questioning mind. An aware mind. An intelligent mind. An efficient mind. A flexible mind. A receptive mind. A free mind. An open mind. Just notice if one of those descriptors speaks more clearly or fervently. And can you link that descriptor to the intellectual brain mind, the emotional heart mind, the intuitive belly mind? And maybe it's not even unique, separate, or independent at this point. That's okay too. But for the purpose of our focus, choose one dimension of the mind, meaning the intellect, the emotion, or the intuitive belly, or one quality, as Ganga has listed, that the mind can hold. And listen to the wisdom of this interconnected self. What might your mind share with you today? Notice what you're noticing. And if the mind has wandered to some thought beyond this intention, perhaps that's where you want to be. But the invitation is there to notice and begin again listening to what the mind might be offering you. Whether you hear any clear phrasing or not. Maybe there's an image or a feeling, a color. Maybe it's just a silence. Be with what is showing up, what is unfolding for you. Without judgment, let it continue to expand. It may just be a matter of honing, remembering the skills of listening to your own inner wisdom. It might be that your own mind is trying to cultivate a clarity of language, be it in pictures or in words. But notice how you open yourself to this dialogue by showing up in meditation, much as we show up for one another for connection and conversation. Sometimes, even in those intimate, healthy, safe relationships, there is silence. And that silence is beautiful, as is the ruckus laughter, the sharing of stories. Even the few moments, perhaps, we need to whine, complain, or just stomp our feet like a toddler about it's not what I want. I don't like it. This too might show up from our bellies or our hearts or even our brains. It's knowing that these emotions, these stories, these words too shall pass. Step back away from being in it and observe from your witness. Be a friend to yourself. The practice of meditation offers so many possible benefits, the least of which is just a calmness. So many more benefits perhaps await the diligent practitioner of returning to this practice just as you are. Sometimes, like Patanjali professes in his 8 limbs, we reach that higher element of bliss, of ananda. And sometimes we are so stuck in the physical orientation of our annamaya kosha, our body, that we may never actually hear the whisperings of that witness, let alone the story of our hearts. This too is an honorable meditation practice. I teach it all the time, but it really is as simple as showing up to breathe and let what happens happen. Can you observe and be with your experience just as it is? Come back to your breath. Maybe there's a sensation of gratitude or an emotion of appreciation for honoring this practice and honoring your journey as a practitioner of meditation, of mindfulness, a student of the way. And we close this practice to begin again this integration of the yoga practice into our daily living by taking this time for a deeper dive, a more intimate setting to recalibrate. That recalibration is the fuel that helps us to move into what's next, so that we may breathe deeply and move freely, labor lovingly, and live vibrantly. Namaste. Thank you for sharing these few minutes. I wish you a joyful day, but most importantly, a day that cultivates this integration of body, mind, and breath. May you practice vibrantly and lovingly your being. Be well.